No doubt about that. And here they come. Junior Paolo and Sam Tompkins, shoulder to shoulder, leading out their two teams into this grand arena for this mighty occasion. Unseasonably warm in North London at the moment. Temperatures up to about 18 degrees. We're not used to this, but we'll take it. And we're also hoping to see something similar to what we saw last night. Australia against New Zealand was thunderous in the first semi-final. If this can match that, then what an occasion this will prove to be. Skipper Sam Tompkins, such an important part of this England jigsaw, with all that he brings at full-back, with his talking and his style of play. And on the other side, Junior Paolo, the skipper of Samoa. Very different role for him, but just as effective in what he does. And right now we're going to have the wreaths laid by the three representatives. You see there on the right, Mark Roberts, representing England. He's part of the backroom staff, but 33 years service with the Royal Navy. Far left, the Deputy Prime Minister of Samoa, Tuala Tavango Iosifo Ponifacio. And between them, the chairman of the Rugby League World Cup 2021, Chris Brindley, MBE, bringing on those wreaths. And when those have been laid, then our bugler, Corporal Gavin Moore, will sound the last post, followed by a minute's silence. For the most part, wonderfully observed. One or two not realising the relevance of the moment. The anthems now to be sung, the Samoan anthem by Rosalind Clay, first of all.
Join together for the national anthem of Samoa, performed a cappella by Rosalind Clay.
Samoa. Masisi laufua lopalelea Samoa tulai Masisi laufua lopalelea Vaina fetu olowangia e whaeronga leo o Yesu na maliu mo Samoa o e Samoa umau lau pule I whaavavau aua o te whewhe o le atua lo tawhawai o lo tasa o lo tonga Samoa tulai uagia hia lau fua lo palele.
You cannot underestimate how emotional a moment this is for those Samoan players out there, those Samoan supporters in the stands, and for Samoans all around the world as well. And the God Save the King now will be sung by Daniel Len.
Performed by Daniel Len.
God save our gracious King, long live our noble King. God save the King. Sending victorious, happy and glorious, long to reign over us. God save the King.
And I think that rendition and that noise tells you it is just as important an occasion for England as well. The scene is set for what is going to be an absolutely fantastic game of rugby league here today. Two nations, two cultures, two rugby league teams colliding on this stage. And if we needed to be lifted any higher out of our seats ahead of this game, then get ready for what comes next. The Manu Sivatau, the cultural call to challenge from the Samoans. This is where we are. This is the scene right in front of us here now. The England players respectfully taking up a line on the halfway. They will not give a step as Samoa prepare for this challenge. It was very, very special last week, wasn't it, when Samoa and Tonga did it in tandem. I think this is going to be equally as stirring.
Enjoy this, boys. Enjoy this, focus where we start.
You can hear the expectation going around the stadium, can't you? They know what's coming. Junior Paulo will lead this.
Samoa! Samoa! Get there!
Go, 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 go! Yeah, go, go! Yeah, fight, yeah, fight! Go, get quiet, chavales!
Nobody averts their gaze. Mike Cooper still keeping eye contact there even after it had finished. You challenge me, I challenge you. What a curtain raiser. Fantastic. Are they going to perform that one more time? Or is today the final curtain on the scimitar? This is the way they're lining up. John Bateman missed the opening game between these two because of suspension, so he's back. Mathieu drops out. Otherwise, it's the same 17 that went up against Samoa. What seems like an age away. Luke Thompson recalled onto the bench as well after being left out in a recent couple of weeks. Samoa have lost hooker Danny Levy, who's returned home for family reasons. Farmana Brown of West Tigers comes in, but he spent quite a lot of time recently at Featherstone Rovers as well. He will start as the dummy half. Junior Paulo successfully appealed against a one-match ban to play today. Referee team is always important as well, but look at this. Look at the emotion. Look at the passion. Look at the challenge. Can they replicate that on the pitch? England refusing to back down, keeping eye contact throughout the whole of that. Look at them staring back. Well, I think we know what kind of a game we're going to get here today. Just from that. Can he keep control? Jared Sutton, referee. Jack Smith, Darian Ferner, the touch judges, Adam G in amongst all the video replays as the video referee. It's a long, long way from Newcastle to London. It's a long, long time, it seems, since that opening match between these two. England are hoping for a similar outcome, but no one is expecting a similar margin of victory. Nobody expected it that day, to be fair. But I think we'd all be absolutely shocked if it was as one-sided today. Either way, this is a contest. This is Samoa on Rugby League's world stage, and that's a very clever piece of thinking from Dom Young. Cool head right from the start to put his foot out of play and catch that ball on the full to give England position back on the halfway line.
Well, this is all about pressure today. Can England handle the pressure? The pressure of expectation, the pressure of doing some things today that they haven't done all of the tournament, which is maybe kick from their own end of the field and handle those crunch moments in the game.
I also think it's crucial about the start. I think Samoa have give England a leg up here. But if England can carry on starting the way they have done in this competition, you know, there should be some pressure on Samoa.
Well, the two big fellas have been really hitting their straps, haven't they? Burgess and Hill in games so far, and they're setting the platform earlier on as well, as England put pressure on this Samoan line. In the very first minute, McAlorum dances out a dummy half to that right-hand side. Wellesby brings it back to the middle with a little kick over the top. Brilliant saving tackle. Williams was over, but a brilliant saving tackle on that occasion from Brown. Now the kick to the corner, making some bounces off his shoulder. Out of play, sat back on the 20. Great from England, great from Samoa.
Well, pressure early on from the Samoan defence, and they came through with flying colours, I think. Scramble defence on shore, kicking game from England to perfection. Makinson just has to collect his ball in as he dives for the corner. Just can't quite do it.
Yeah, 2 spot-on kicks there by Jack Wellsby. Probably showing his arm a little bit that, you know, this aggressive defence, the intensity at the start of the game. I think he was trying to counteract that by kicking behind.
Interesting little contest there between Callum Watkins and Tim Laffey, the 2 Salford teammates. Their coach, Paul Rowley's here today. We're chatting with him early, and he said he sent them both a text earlier today. Good luck, keep safe. He wants them fit and ready. Paolo with a drive in. A dummy half, it's Brown. Samoa advancing inside that England half. And looking left here with Laffey. Gets the offload away. He's been terrific, hasn't he, Laffey, since coming into the Samoan camp? But that won't surprise anybody who's watched him in Super League this last year. Back with Luai towards this centre patch again. Paolo put down. Last play for Samoa. Milford dances away from the initial attempt of tackle, but his kick's out on the full. They're making a habit of that.
And that's what England need to do. They need to pressure the half-backs and pressure the kicking game. I'm sure Samoa will do the same. But at the minute, the kicking game, one from the start, and that one there from Milford, both out on the full.
Yeah, huge pressure on Milford and Luai for this Samoan team. And I think one of the questions that we need to answer, or England need to answer, can they go into a game and go set for set? So one of those games that's nick and tuck, and they're both kicking and they're both getting to each other end of the field. That's a question mark over England and their defence. And for Samoa after last week, well, we know what they can do with the ball. It's for England to disrupt that system.
Here comes Hill, looking to add a little bit of a small explosion in the middle of the park, but well met by those 3 Samoan defenders. Radley and Tompkins, and they're getting a bit of width there with Bateman into the sunshine, away from the shadows. Radley again comes scooting across and has a look. Has to take the tackle. Last play here, England. Still 30 metres plus away from where they want to be, so Williams puts that up. A little bit of pressure here on Sualihi, who's down and just about had feet on ground when shoulders met his bruising ribs. And Samoa start from inside the 10.
And England will be really happy with that set. You know, they powered through the middle and shifted the ball to the right. But more importantly, at the end of the set, they came up with a kick that puts Sualihi and Samoa under pressure.
Just had arms around him when feet was still in the air, but marginal. Brown out of dummy half and coming left. There's a real buzz around the stadium, a real vibrancy. They like what they're seeing so far as Laffey tries to take them on the outside, but England's defenders across there safely enough again. Now it's a chance for May to have a go. Another set of 6, so this is good from Samoa's point of view. Halfway line reached and 6 tackles to have a real go here. In by Lingi Sao. England trying to keep pressure on and keep this play the ball as slow as possible. Back it comes from Paolo. Just shaped to pass, but takes it in. As we've seen, he is capable of just popping it away out of a tackle, so England have got to be smart to that. Here's Hunt, and Hunt with that pass away. Sualihi, and suddenly Samoa into dangerous territory. Brown. This now is Luai. Pops it over the top. Laffey's got the footwork, and Laffey's got the first try of the game. What a shock for English fans watching on. What a boost for those Samoans. Tim Laffey's over. And it's Samoa who strike first blood, and England behind for the first time in this World Cup.
Yeah, you mentioned the battle on that edge with it's Laffey and Callum Watkins, the club teammates, and on that occasion, Laffey comes out on top. It's probably the 3rd occasion that they've shifted the ball to the left. They're moving the ball much more today than they did in the first game against England, and it was Laffey who won the 6 again, and then he goes round Callum Watkins. It's a ball from Jerome Luai, just gives him a little bit of space, and that's all he needs.
You're absolutely right, Kev. Laffey with a little bit of space on Callum Watkins, who's too tight to his back rower, just does him on the outside and does him for speed and gets on the outside of him. Dom Young stays out because he thinks Callum Watkins got his man, but he didn't have his man.
He's one of the best offloaders in the game, Tim Laffey, but he's got that little flick. It's almost Kirk Gidley-like, you know, where he flicks it out the back door. And that's what Dom Young was worried about. That's why he didn't engage. But yeah, what a fantastic start. You know, a little bit shaky from Samoa, but when they've had a chance, they've made England pay.
You see, the older amongst us would say more of a Jamie Lyon than a Kurt Gidley, but you're only a young one, Kev. You're only a young one. So the kick from the touchline from Stephen Crichton. Well, I mean, hear the shock that's gone around this stadium.
Yeah.
A lot of people who haven't really understood what's been going on have said this is going to be another easy win for England.
No.
And we've already seen it's not going to be an easy win for England.
Anna, just watch the kick.
Crichton struck it just wide of the post, so 4-0 it remains.
I think what's important to understand about the England performance is going set for set at the start of the top of the show that we're talking. Here we see Luai giving the ball to Tim Laffey. He just cooks Callum Watkins on the outside. Dom Young doesn't come in, and so it's a one-on-one miss, basically.
And you mentioned pressure at the start of the game, Nobby, and you know, this is pressure now. This is the first time they've gone behind in this World Cup, so no, this will be a little different mentally for this English side.
Yeah, they've had it all their own way, haven't they? A bruising 20 minutes in that first game against Samoa, and then they got on top and ran away with it. France, easy. Greece, easy. Papua New Guinea, easy in the end.
Well, listen,
not today.
There's enough experience and big game mentality in this England team to cope with this.
What a player.
It's unbelievable, isn't he?
Full back, he's still only 19 years of age. What a player he's going to be if he keeps carrying on getting better and better. Samoa with Brown at dummy half. Always a little bit of a juggle from Kofusi, but gathers it in again before English shoulders meet him. Last play again. So Luai with a kick off that left foot of his. Dom Young is over there and is able to take it safely enough, but look where they start from.
Well, this is the set-by-set mentality that Samoa are clearly dropping into, and England need to get back into the game to do. Leave the ball, when you kick the ball, leave it 5 metres from the sideline and 5 metres from the try line, and you're a chance of restricting territory. Now it's up for England to try and get into that process too, Kev.
Yeah, and the middle looks fresh for Samoa. They're moving the ball and sharing the workload out. You know, we said that England had chased this middle today and go after it like they did in round one. And at the minute, you know, Samoa are just staying away from that fight and moving the ball around, which seems to be working.
There's Burgess, but stopped before he really starts. So England again running out of tackles inside their own half. Tompkins looking for the clearance kick. So Alihi watches the bounce, and here comes danger straight away with that threat. I mean, he runs like a gazelle dressed like a rhinoceros, doesn't he? He's got that slight figure, but he runs it really hard.
And ends up
when he
getting
hits the
through
line.
like a gorilla, to use the animal.
He's almost in disguise, though.
Yeah.
He doesn't look as strong as he is, and he's taking on Burgess and Hill. They're 120 kilos.
Milford coming to this right-hand side. Sua pushing Samoa again back inside English territory. Milford waiting. It's Paolo who blasts it in, and look at that, just shakes off a couple of England defenders. Just resists them with relative ease. Luai and Milford, misconnection, knock on. England with a chance to settle here now. They were under pressure.
Yeah, and it was Liggy Sow. I think Milford's just telling him there it was for the man out the back. The man out the back was on. Liggy Sow, he normally plays front row for Hull FC, playing in the left back row. Just a little bit clunky, but that was an opportunity again on that left edge.
Well, I thought Milford last week was outstanding, Kevin. I think he was instrumental in releasing people like Suolihi, Luai, getting them into the game. He was really crucial to Samoa's performance against Tonga last week, and will be again today. We saw there, I thought, at the middle, Junior Paolo was looking for the English number 9, Michael McLaurin, where they think they can get some mileage. I think we'll see that repeated.
So England with a set that starts again inside their own half. Farnworth, who on the quiet has been impressive in this World Cup, hasn't grabbed the headlines, the try-scoring headlines, quite like the other young starlet Dom Young. Another set restart, but early in the count, very early in the count, so not too damaging from Samoa's point of view as Hill pounds it forward, looking for the halfway line if he can.
There's a different approach there from the Samoan team in blue here. They're trying to play the balls down and work extra hard in the tackles to stop England getting that roll on and playing quickly, which they managed to do in the first encounter.
This is McAlora, up and collects. Tompkins switching it left. Williams, the pass to Farnworth, but well met by Tahoe, who cut things down, but England keep it alive. Williams again with a skip And a step being dragged towards the touchline and beyond. And it's going to be Samoa who get it back here.
And mentally, it's really difficult when you win a game by 60 points a matter of weeks ago. Subconsciously, you almost expect things to happen. And at the minute, for me, I just think they're chasing their edge a little bit too much and a little bit too often, England. And Samoa just look really strong. Like Nobby said, they're slowing the play, the balls down, and they're being much more aggressive than they were in the previous meeting.
And it's that element of pressure as well. England have been encountering things that they haven't encountered in the whole of the tournament. So how do you get over that? How do you lift yourself? And you think, well, we need to stay a bit simple. Go set for set and see where we get to.
Well, in fact, England have got possession here. They've decided that Samoa knocked on in trying to take England out of play, so they can start in an attacking position. And Watkinson's taken it in with that first effort. Here comes Burgess. Burgess driving. Oh, let's go. Head goes down. Never any doubt, Junior Paulo just being tempted back in there to have a little chirp with Burgess. Penalty.
Well, that's not easy to do.
Oh, God, how big is Burgess to lift him over 180 degrees?
A crane in his
That's
pocket.
some kind of strength, that. He's certainly had his Wheatie Bix for breakfast.
Well, the breakfast cereals are available.
Yeah.
What do you do here? Philosophical question. Kick the two or run it on?
I'd play on here, but there's a bit of
problem here.
Yeah, there could be an issue beyond the penalty. I mean, what we've seen in this World Cup is
no, he puts him down in the end.
The problem is for the defenders there. There's two of them almost doing the same sort of tackle technique. Paulo looks like he's going to get a speaking to from the referee, but he's been fantastic. He's fantastic.
Off for 10 minutes. Junior Paulo, sin bin for 10 minutes.
And now I think they definitely take the tap, don't they, Nobby? They've got to put some pressure, go with the man down. You'd expect them to tap this ball and try and make some points out of this numerical advantage.
Well, suddenly the England props puff out their chests and think, you know what, we can make a real dent on this Samoan line now that he's disappeared. Samoa down to 12. England have 10 minutes with a one-man advantage. There's the reason why, and England play on. McIlroy at dummy half. Radley's queuing up there, but it's gone back to Burgess instead, and Tom Burgess with that big effort forward. McIlroy, all the balls come free, and the ref says knock on, I think, does he? Is he signalling here? No, he's giving a penalty for England again here.
Yeah, it was Liggy Sow, I think, Nobby, was it?
It's the way the ball came out. Liggy Sow's clearly got his hands all over the ball and reaps it out.
Yep.
And they'll play on again here, England.
So here they go. Radley goes right. Bateman comes back left again. England 5 away. Pressure on this Samoan line. They've had a terrific start, but now with a man short, can they hold out? Switched left to Williams. Williams puts it over the top. Up went Crichton, knocked it back, and it has gone back in Samoan hands. Again, a risk early to go wide.
Well, it's different. England went for it there. They were trying to take advantage of the extra man with the ball over the top. I think it was Luai that climbed into the sky.
Yeah, it's the tunnel ball.
Sorry, yeah.
It's the tunnel ball, and that exact play worked last time. But even if he gets the ball over Crichton, Brian Toto is there to make the tackle. I just think we're lacking patience at the minute, the English side, and they need to get back into just doing things that's been working all tournament, and that's been running hard with numbers around Radley.
Absolutely. Set for set. England go set for set.
We do forgive Kev the odd we, because 5 years ago he was wearing an England shirt in a World Cup final, of course. 5 tackles gone. Here comes the last. Luai with a kick downfield. Young already well back to catch that. Looking for a bursting effort here. Takes some handling. 3 of them from Samoa. Holding him up. He's putting a pause. The referee wants the ball played back. We've seen a lot of that, haven't we? The referee just asking players to step back a foot or two to play the ball.
But that helps Samoa as well, because it slows the process down. England, with a numerical advantage, will want to play quick around there. They want Young to get down and play the ball quickly. Well, they want this kind of play the ball that we've got now.
Makinson's not tackled. Had a look up at the referee, who said play on, and that's brilliant for Tommy Makinson. And the player he's run over is out. He's literally right over the top of someone. I'm not sure who this is, lying flat on his back. But the doctor's on.
Oh, it's firing with Brown.
Yeah. It's friendly fire there, wasn't it?
Head on head.
Yeah.
This will really disrupt Samoa. Obviously already missing Levi.
Well, they've got Chanel Harris-Tavita on the bench, haven't they, as that cover for Hooker. But if he has to go off here with the head assessment and looking at the body language at the moment of the man on the ground, you'd have to say he's unlikely to come back on again.
Yeah.
Although,
There you go.
I
don't think he's going to have to go off for certain. He'll have his head injury assessment. You're right. He seems to be there on the planet looking at him now, but he'll clearly have to be assessed for 10 minutes.
Yeah, there's no way he's coming back on the field. I think if you do get knocked out cold, which he definitely was, well, I think that's a straight fail.
So there's a concern. Key position, dummy half. Chanel Harris-Tavita comes on, but will now be expected to do much bigger minutes than he expected. And there's another player coming off here as well. Is it Crichton?
Yeah.
Who's come off? Stephen Crichton. Here's Brown. It's Kofuzi, isn't it? It's Kofuzi who's come off, holding his head.
I think he has a cut. I think he's more likely to come back than Brown. But it's been disruptive for Samoa because they'd got themselves a good start under their belts. And they were testing and putting England under the kind of pressure that they haven't been under, Kev.
Yeah, and this will be pressure with Josh Papali'i coming onto the field. You know, it's probably not in the circumstances I wanted, but you know, he's a fantastic player and he gets stuck into Burgess straight away.
By the way, this could be Chanel Harris-Tavita's last ever game of rugby league. If Samoa lose today, he's retiring. He's only 23, but he sees the bigger picture of life apparently, and he wants to go travelling. So what a way to go out, either today or in a final next week. This is Williams with a kick that is being chased by Young, who tries to knock it back. It's gone to ground. Bateman flicks it through. The referee's already given a decision against England.
Well, there was a little snapshot for England just before the break because of the head clash. Tommy Meganson crashed into the line, beat a couple of players, had a quick play of the ball. They're on the front, and it looked like the kind of play that England wanted to come up with. The stop-start situation, the kick there, it's just not quite going the way that England want.
Yeah, just a little bit too eager, just all in front of the kicker, so that's an easy out for Samoa. Like you say, Nobby, they just need to get back England to doing what they did, you know, in the previous games, and that's just going forward with numbers and chasing this middle.
So Lafai will set with the initial charge. Harris-Tavita out of dummy half, and here comes Sao, Lingi Sao now, taking it close to that halfway line. Samoa looking to set themselves up again here for a position inside that England half. Papali'i with a little ball away. Royce Hunt takes it on, surging in again. Harris-Tavita. Luai steps away the challenge of Burgess, gets it onto Milford. Milford's cut down quickly. McAloran, the man who got there, and gets again here to Papali'i, but he's only a speed bump as Papali'i goes through. Two more England defenders needed. Last play here. Milford will look to kick to the corner, and up goes Makinson with a wonderful take. Crichton got to him quickly, but Makinson with a very safe catch.
Yeah, they're really going after Mickey McLaurin now in the middle of the field. Papali'i just bounced him off. We've seen that a couple of times now, and they look really dangerous, Samoa, when they get that second phase going and the offload out the back. That's something England will have to improve on, locking the ball up.
We've got an interchange coming here as well at England. Mike Cooper's ready to come on. We'll see who comes off in just a second. But England through Radley, another bruising challenge down the middle. McAloran and Burgess runs off the shoulder of Sao and makes another 5 meters or so. But England again find themselves on the last, so Tompkins puts it up in the air. Suhali underneath it, eyes on the ball in the sunshine. Good chase down, good chase by England. Tompkins with a telling tackle in the end.
Great chase, great kick, great catch from Suhali as well.
And Lafai down the blind side.
What about that? That's a catch under pressure.
Hear the local appreciation as they watch that on the big screen. So Samoa looking wide through Milford. Good little flick away. Had the man been there, but instead Samoa is bounced out of play. England get a big defensive win there. As Samoa unable to keep it in, and England will get head and feet in possession, you'd think, 35 metres out from that Samoan line.
And it's moments like that in big games where you need your big players stepping up, and that's what Elliot Whitehead's done there. He's chased over and put Samoa into touch and got his team on the possession. But even though Samoa are down to 12 men at the minute, they're still creating and finding space on the edges, which is a bit of a bad sign for England.
If we look at that again, it was Crichton that actually had got to the outside, and had Samoa been in the right place, he was down the sideline. So you're absolutely right, Kev. They created an opportunity there with a man down. So England, for me, go back at the middle, find some ruck speed, and we'll see what happens.
3.5 minutes for England still with this one-man advantage, and this is good position they find themselves in here. What can they make of this as Hill twisting around? Eventually he does play the ball. Mike Cooper's still waiting to come on, by the way. Here's Williams with a bit of dash and dazzle, but not enough to take the Samoan defence eye off the ball. Radley, and now they've got numbers, and Tompkins and Watkins. What a battle those two are having on the far side, and this time it's Watkins who wins out against his clubmate and puts England back level again. But we're going for the video referee here, I think. He says try on the field, but we're going to the video referee, so let's hear
video
from
ref to
Adam
match
G.
director. We're just looking at grounding, please. We've got a live decision to try. Can I get a close-up of the ball? Nice and slow, please, for grounding. Can I just get that again, please? Same angle, little. Yep. Similar speed. Can I go back on that, please, and freeze frame when it's on the ground? Just want to see if you've still got possession. Yeah, this might help us. Okay, so Callum Watkins has lost possession of the ball there in attempting to ground it. Thank you, Director. I've seen all available angles to make my decision.
He's going to be denied.
And you've got to execute. He had to get that ball down, Callum Watkins. Tiny May's done a brilliant job screaming across and disrupting that get down, and Lafai. They got together. They had no right to stop that play because England had stripped them for numbers. You have to execute your plays. They didn't on that occasion, and Samoa let off the hook, Kev.
And we gave Elliot Whitehead a massive rap previous, but Tim Lafai there, he has no right. We thought it was 1-1. It's 2-0 now with Lafai over Watkins. That's a fantastic last-ditch tackle.
Is that going to be the story of the game, or a crucial story in this game? Harris Tavita out of dummy half. Sean Wayne looked furious there, didn't he? Really frustrated, understandably so. There's nobody home at the back. Little kick over the top. Tompkins should have it covered, and does. From Luai's kick, and where can Tompkins get to? No further than that. Good chase from Samoa.
Well, there you go. They kicked early in the tackle count, then Luai, and so they're really confident in what they're dishing up at this part of the field. They get a penalty, England, which gets them off the hook, because the challenge for England is to kick out of their own half when you're in a pressurised game and going set for set, Kev.
Yeah, and the variation in the kicking game, they've got Luai, Milford, and at the minute they're just splitting Sam Tompkins. He was stood in the middle of the field. They just picked that bottom corner. And like you say, it was a great kick, but poorly. Well, they let him off the hook with a penalty.
Bateman taking it in. Not long now before Junior Paulo is back on the field. And Samoa are back to 13. This is Cooper. Cooper in and down. Just over 30 away. McAlorum stands at dummy half and waits patiently. And now in by Victor Radley. Radley trying to rattle his way through. McAlorum marches back to his little general's position at dummy half. Wellesby going down but gets it away. Watkins steps away, bowls it back to Tompkins. Tompkins now. England have got numbers here. It might be a good bounce. It's not for Farnworth. Samoa have it back again. They are living on the edge, Samoa, at the moment, with some excellent, desperate defending.
Well, that's probably 3 tries now. We've nearly scored. You know, we had George Williams picking the ball up off a kick in the first set, Herbie Farnworth, and then Callum Watkins. But it's crucial.
The desperation from Toho to try and stop Farnworth getting the ball, it actually puts him off and gets in his eye line, which causes the ricochet. And Milford's there as well in the backfield to pick up the pieces.
We look so dangerous. You know, when it's Radley gets the ball in the middle of the field and finds a pass. That was what he did in the first, you know, for Callum Watkins. He did that again for Sam Tompkins. When he gets there as a pivot and gets the ball a bit wider, England look really threatening.
Here's Lafay with a first carry. Never been beyond a quarter-final. Samoa. 3 times officially quarter-finalists in World Cups gone by. A little threat developing again on this left-hand side. Inside for Harris Tavita. England's defence reacts well enough. Good hands in a difficult situation. Who's going to pick this one up from dummy half? It's going to be May, Tiny May. Lafay, 10 short of the halfway line. Back on the field, Junior Paolo.
And it's almost like there's not been any disruption.
The kick is from Milford. Makinson, long hand on that, big high kick, but Makinson takes it without any real dramas and runs it back, looking for a little space on the other side. Tommy Makinson, and when he goes direct, he makes a half break and then gets pushed over.
And a penalty.
And a penalty for England.
Tommy Makinson, he ran 50 yards to go 8 metres forward and then got a penalty as well. That is some carry. I wonder if it's on his statistics.
Yeah, I was worried that he was going to get caught and get dragged back, but fantastic carry by Tommy Makinson. But Samoa, you know, they're doing everything right. It's just that first and second tackle that they're just being a little bit too eager and letting England off the hook.
Do you still get those metres counting on your stats if you're running sideways?
No, I think they paint the field north to south for a reason, Dave. I think that's how you get your metres.
I'd have had some good metres if you got for sideways and backwards.
Especially without the ball. Okay, just imagine that. England now with a set inside their opponent's half and an opportunity to build again, but they've been here before without any effect. Can they settle their nerves, or does this excellent Samoan defence continue to hold a grip on this game? McAlorum is going to have to be patient here because Hill has to unpick himself from those defenders on the floor. Williams, the little dummy, and he's through, and he gets it away, and that is going to be Elliot Whitehead. George Williams with the surge. Brilliant skills and bravery from him because he hurt himself in doing that. And Whitehead, who seems so often to be in the right place at the right time, there to collect a score.
Well, this is brilliant from George Williams. Brilliant strength in there, brilliant vision to hit the ball at pace into a half a hole. And he'd no right to make the pass play at the end of it, but Elliot Whitehead, who played with him at Canberra and probably knew what he was doing, here's the penalty that gives England their field position, and it is a penalty. It's stupid from the Samoans in relation to where they were. But off you go, George Williams, right through 2 people. Elliot Whitehead on the sprint on the outside. What a finish, what a try, Kev.
Yeah, and if you just look at number 7, Anthony Milford for Samoa, he just gets in front of the ball, which allows Elliot Whitehead just to get in the backfield. We see now George Williams goes through, and it's a fantastically beautiful, soft hands. And that's what Elliot Whitehead does. For a back rower, he scores lots of tries. But Samoa are doing a lot of things right, but they're letting England off the hook at the minute by just giving a few too many penalties.
24th Test cap, England Test cap today for Elliot Whitehead, 11th try. I mean, that is quite a return for a back rower, isn't it?
It is, and he's a good back rower. He's a good footballer. He's one of the first picks in the team. He's had experience in relation to other tournaments, and he showed up there. And he knows George Williams, played with George Williams at Canberra, understood what he was capable of, understood where he was going to push through the hole, and more importantly, where he needed to get to take advantage of the pass.
And I think if George Williams had passed the ball out the back to Wellesby, Samoa were ready to shut it down. So just either showing the pass and showing the dummy or kicking behind seems to be something that England have found to unlock this defence.
Well, English flags flying now with a little bit more gusto than they were earlier. And here's the reason why. George Williams setting things up. And Elliot Whitehead, right place, right time. And there's the ending.
So here's the thing, this is what Samoa want. The team in the blue want slow rucks, so they can organise, they can be physical and dominate this England team. England want exactly the opposite. They want some ruck speed and some bodies around the ruck and around the players so they can find short pass plays and opportunities.
Luke Thompson on the field, he's going to add a bit of muscle as well. And it looks as though he's hurt, actually, from that initial carry. Watkins, I think Luke Thompson's, I think his boots come off. It looks as though he's got an ankle injury from the distance, but I think it's just his boots become dislodged.
Well, it was Junior Paulo, he hit him with everything and he knocked his boot off.
As long as that's the only thing that's missing from his anatomy after a Junior Paulo hit. McAlorum. Cooper's going to have a go. No, he's not. They're going to go down this blind side instead. And here's Williams, who's anxious for more. Reaching, is looking at the referee to see if there was a suggestion of a high. There wasn't. And Tompkins with a kick that is stretching Toho, who brings it back towards that 20-metre mark where England are waiting.
The backfield for Samoa, really dangerous. Toto there carries it back now, Crichton. And then normally it's Suolahi who comes off the back. Some tired defenders now, so it's important the kicking game from both sides, you know, is accurate.
Harris Tavita back on the inside again. It's the other winger, Tiny May, who's having a go at lifting the burden off his bigger forwards, helping them get out. And Suolihi, who's just presents a threat every time he has the ball in his hand, doesn't he? Even if they stop him in early stride. Right it comes. Sua. England across in numbers. I think there's one play to go, that's all. Tackle 5, so here's the last. It's into the boot of Milford. Easy one for Tompkins to take. Tompkins pouches, an umbrella of defenders come towards him. Milford missed him, flying in there, and England have possession from deep. I think Tanya down on the touchline. Might have news of injury, Tanya.
Yeah, they've only got one doctor, the Samoan team, so it's taking a little while on the HIAs, but Faumuno Brown, which is not a surprise, has failed his. The view on Oregon Corfusi is ongoing.
So that's one down and possibly one to go. There's a rule in this World Cup, if 3 players fail a head injury assessment, then they can bring on the 18th man. So there is that bit of leeway that you don't normally get in Super League and the NRL. Kick from Wellesby at the end of that, and Young got fingertips to it, I think. Oh, well, I think the initial knock-up. No, it's going to be an England penalty here, I think. England penalty for a shoulder off the ball.
Well, let's have a look. Yeah, certainly some action on, isn't there? Lafai on Young again. He picks that up and gets over. He's in the corner. Well, yeah, Lafai, you can't do that.
You couldn't do that in a queue for the shopping at Tesco's, never mind on a rugby league field.
So there's another opportunity for England here.
That's why England have this penalty, and what a chance. Thompson blasts it in. Missed the last couple of games, Luke Thompson, so he'll have been pawing the ground in anticipation. Bateman now pulled down. McAlorum's having a look. Picks it up and spins it back. Radley offers it off. Cooper now. The 2 props have been exchanged. Burgess and Hill off. Cooper and Thompson on. Can they do some damage? Radley, they closed him down. The defensive line was up quickly to shut down all his options. So he had to go down with ball in hand. Little grubber to the in-goal area. Oh, and it's just overcooked from Wellesby. And there's a
bit of extras on the end of it.
Spin. I think it was Harris Tavita, isn't it, who spun over the advertising hoardings.
Well, the kick wasn't great. Wellesby had the right idea because the fullback wasn't at home and caught up at marker, but the kick wasn't great.
He's okay. We carry on. It's taken on by Tiny May. 5 short of the halfway line.
Well, Samoa have just lost all shape. You could almost throw a blanket over them, so there's no surprise where they're going. They feel like the England team now is getting a little bit loose around the middle.
That's a good hit by Radley on Suolihi. How dare you run at me, young man.
Well, it's a great point that Kev makes in where Samoa think they're going to get the men. They get a 20-metre restart and they don't move from the middle, trying to wear out this England defence so they can find some opportunities on the fringe like this one.
Spotted a gap down that blind side and slides over to score. Oh, eyes up rugby league from Lingy Sao. That is a super shows real class in reading the situation and getting himself over.
Yeah, and it was just deception he finds himself at the hooker position. He shows the ball right, and I think it's Callum Watkins who takes the dummy. Everyone thinks the ball's going to the middle of the field. Liggy-Sow, you know, sees the overchase. You see Callum Watkins' feet, the number 3 for England, and he's just not got enough pace to get back there. That's a tremendous bit of skill, bit of deception from Liggy-Sow. You know, he's still got a lot to do. Shows the dummy, and Dom Young once again stays out. Probably should have gone in on this occasion.
But I think it's Jack Welsby that gets caught at marker. Callum Watkins is on his own and should give himself some space, because Welsby's not involved in this play. I don't know if he thinks he is involved, but he's on his back. Liggy-Sow sees that, runs straight past him. Dom Young's in no man's land. All of a sudden it's a one-on-one for Liggy-Sow, and he's too big and fast at that kind of pace and that kind of meterage out of the line.
Well, it's the two Super League men who are doing the damage against England, isn't it? We talk about the pedigree of the NRL stars in this Samoan side, but it's the Super League players, Lafai and Sao, who have landed the sucker punches and given Samoa a lead here, which Crichton is looking to extend. 8 minutes to the break. Crucial moments, crucial scores. Crichton, a big green-booted left foot of his, and he has got it. He has got it. So 10 points to 6 now. Samoa lead.
And Samoa are well trained in this nip and tuck game, real brutal game. They had one against Tonga. England haven't had a tough game yet. You know, so this is new waters, Nobby, for England now. How do they respond? You know, I'm not sure.
Well, that's the element of pressure I was talking about in your mindset, your concentration. Two players clocked off there for me, Callum Watkins and Jack Welsby, because he had a free run to the try line, did Liggy-Sow. And in test matches, they test every ability, every sense of your game of rugby league, and they were found out. And that's that element of tough games and battle hardness you're talking about, Kev.
Papali'i with the initial drive in. The Canberra Raiders prop forward. One club man with Canberra. Into dummy half goes Harris Tavita. The 23-year-old who might just be done with rugby league, but helping his side here to an impressive lead. 6.5 to go. Sean Wayne and Andy Lass there on the sidelines. Perplexed, I think, would be an understatement. Out comes Harris Tavita, and another dash from Sualihi. A flash of lightning down the middle again, putting fear in English hearts. It's taken on by Milford, flattened, and he gets an ill-advised offload away because he's given the ball back to England, and Tommy Makinson just happy to get hands on ball.
England breathe a bit of a sigh of relief there. Again, Samoa just chased the middle. It's Sualihi who just goes straight through. Radley's gone off and Morgan Knowles has come on, but it's exactly the same game plan, straight through the middle. Tough to handle.
They're going straight at Mickey McLaurin. Now that's clearly a game plan thing. They're finding opportunities. Sualihi's going through there. Papali'i's going through there. Junior Paulo's going through there. So get him some help, and then get the fast England players on the ball. People like this guy Farmer, find some quick play the balls. Makinson, find some quick play the balls. This is the pressure.
Tompkins taking over a dummy half for the moment here. Thompson takes it in. McIlaurin striding into position. Tough as they come, Mickey Mack. Bateman, has he knocked it backwards? No, he's not. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. I thought the referee had a whistle in his mouth, but he's changed his mind. England retain possession, albeit scruffily.
Josh Papali'i, he's only got one boot.
With a break. Farmer gets a half a break, but quickly closed down by Toho. Last play here, England on the front foot. Williams puts the kick towards the corner. The bounce, not quite.
He took
not
a risk
quite
there.
the reverse bounce that they were hoping for.
Jack Welsby
chases everything
about rugby league and the bounce of the ball. I did not know that Jack Welsby and the team in white are going to chase absolute. Oh, he took a risk there, Sualihi. He gets the result in the end, so
maybe he just knew that Josh Addo-Carr wasn't on his outside. Super try we saw last night for Australia against New Zealand in not quite similar circumstances. Samoa, 4.5 minutes to go before half-time, have a lead which has stunned 90% of this crowd here at Arsenal. And here they come again with Toho.
Tim Laffey's been sensational in this opening half.
All the middle runners have been sensational, and the penalty there
as well. Crusher tackle.
They're just not coping with the middle. They're not coping with Laffey, they're not coping with Sualihi, and then Junior Paulo and Pahalihi coming up the middle. Jaden Sewer.
Yeah, they're spreading the work across the board, aren't they? But they're sticking to the same place on the field in the middle channel. I don't think it'll be long before Victor Radley comes back on and maybe slots in at 9 for Mickey McLaurin.
That's good on report. So the disciplinary will have a look at that in the coming week, which might have implications for next week's final.
We're actually doing to England what England did to them in the first game, exposing their middle or playing quick at their middle rather than exposing people.
Work out of there, Mike. Get square, Luke. Hold here, Mickey. Hold.
Up to his feet, Harris Tavita. Luai helps it on its way to the sizable bulk of Junior Paulo. He runs with power as well. And again, that's just a big, solid effort right down the guts of that England defence. They'll do well to hold out here, England again, because Samoa on a bit of a roll. Luai with a short pass. Sarkane charging on at pace. They're going to go back towards the middle. Paulo, Milford kicks behind. Tompkins has that covered.
Brilliant from Sam Tompkins. Had to let that go. The element of pressure that England are under at the moment. They needed that 20-metre restart, Kev.
Yeah, England look very flimsy though on the right edge. Scored a couple of tries and Liggy South pierces straight through once again. The execution of Milford's kick just too long and lets England off.
So Watkins with the first carry. 3 minutes to the break. Young. Snapped up by Laffey before he's in any kind of stride again, but they go and search down that left-hand side of Samoa's defensive line. Knowles trying to bully his way forward, wants to spring up and gets up relatively quickly. Williams again with that running game of his, testing that Samoan defence, keeping them honest. Tompkins out of dummy half. Welsby was there as a foil. Samoa not taking the dummy. Welsby stayed down injured. Williams now kicks towards the corner. Suali underneath it, try to hang up as long as possible in the air. When he comes down, Herbie Farnworth grabs a hold, and Samoa have to start from there. And this is robust from England. The offload was a little gamble, but it's paid off. And Samoa advance midway inside their own half.
Yeah, England really struggling with the outside backs now for Samoa. It's the second phase that's killing them. From this man, Tim Laffey, Stephen Crichton, we see it again.
That offload again. Sao back towards the middle. The offloads mean that instead of tackling 6 times in a row, England's defence is tackling 7, 8, sometimes 9 times in a row, which draws the juice out of the tank. Thought you'd stopped them? Well, off they go again. Harris Tavita inside now for Kafusi. Last play. England will have some relief at that, but there's a threat coming from the boot of Luai. Young underneath it. Again, it hangs up there for what seems like an eternity, no doubt. Laffey in to make that tackle. Young is punched to the ground from the yard he picked it up in. Welsby goes out from dummy half. Into the last 45 seconds of this first half. Watkins. Samoa quite happy just to keep England penned inside their own half for what remains now, the seconds that remained of this opening period. Making some, trying to put a bullet hole through the middle of the defence, but stopped. Bateman again strong in the carry, punching above his weight, but not strong enough to shake them off. Knowles, an unlikely 6th tackle kicker. Swahili, a very likely lad when it comes to returning that kind of a kick, but England's defence is ready. Harris Tavita searching towards this right-hand side. I think that will be the last play. Well, our clock has counted down, and the stadium clock counts down as well. Well, what a shock to the system that has been for England in that opening half. What a terrific first 40 minutes from Samoa. They scored first. They scored last in that half, and for the first time, they are sending England in behind in a World Cup, this World Cup tournament. Samoa on top. They are leading here at half-time by 10 points to 6.
Well, what a turnaround from Samoa, leading at half-time over England, the favourites. Can they hold on? It's been a great first 40 minutes by Samoa. A couple of big moments, and it started, Jimmy, with that Wellesby kick down the other end of the field.
Yeah, well, this is what Samoa have done to England. So they've pressured their outside edges. They're jamming every time Radley's got the ball and looking to be that link player through the middle, and England have resorted to the kick. We saw that in the opening set of the game after Sueli he had kicked the ball out on the full, and they go for the double kick twice in that opening set. So I don't know if that's a tactic or whether that's the pressure that Samoa are putting, being very aggressive on those edges. But that is a real simple try there where, you know, I think the England players would really like that one back. In fact, it's come from both England tries. It's been two really poor moments, and when you're playing at this level, you've got to be able to manage that moment. It was a one-on-one Watkins and Lafai, and then a simple mix-up at marker due to a lack of communication there.
Yeah, really frustrating, the English team, aren't they? The Samoans with their defensive line. I mean, towards the back end of that first half, England started to really straighten up. George Williams got a little bit of success off that. I'd like to see in the second half, particularly the England side, come out and play nice and direct in and around, get some ruck speed and some good things can come off the back.
Yeah, England have got some work to do. Not their best first 40 minutes. Samoa have the lead heading into the second half by 4 points. We'll have all the reaction from that first half after the break. Back to the Rugby League World Cup. Samoa with the lead at half-time, and they deserve it. Corey, take us through the first half highlights.
Yeah, the first time this tournament that England have found themselves behind, it was through Tim Lafai. Just a simple one-on-one missed tackle there from Watkins, just unable to do. It's been a nice little battle between those two centres before George Williams just really took the line on, straightened things up beautifully, got a nice little offload to his Canberra connection counterpart, and that being Elliot Whitehead, Jimmy, before Linky South scored one of the easier tries of the tournament.
Yeah, well, he just assesses this situation, doesn't he, perfectly, and he ends up in a training ground 2-on-1 situation, and he sums it up perfectly. A beautiful little dummy to May on the outside, and he gives Samoa a deserved lead, I think, and I've got to give credit to Samoa, the way they handled that period of time where they were down to 12 players, and also they lose New Brown as well. So they've been desperate this afternoon over in England, and yeah, they deserve the lead so far.
Well, they do deserve the lead. Samoa by far the better team, and they had a player in the sin bin as well, off for 10 minutes, Junior Paulo. How do we see this one?
Yeah, both players that were involved in the tackle, obviously, Paulo was going to the bin for 10. Look, he gets put in an awkward position. They do pull out of the tackle, him and Hunt, before he goes to the bin. I don't think he'll have anything to worry about if they are to win this game and move on to the final. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be okay. Look, they found themselves in a position.
They didn't go through.
They didn't go through with it. They pulled out of it.
I think what happens there is they've realised they've made a mistake, and then they've backed off immediately. And thankfully, no harm comes to Tom Burgess.
Did it warrant 10 minutes in the bin?
I think it did, Braith. I think it did. I think you've got to punish that with some sort of visible punishment, and you know, you can't be, oh, nothing happened. It's one of those things that we can't see in our game.
So you think that's enough punishment? He doesn't miss next week if they get through, because they need him against Australia.
No, he's their captain, he's their leader in the forward pack, he's their intimidator. I think I agree with what Jimmy said. They realised they had him in an awkward position. They pulled out of it. I think 10 minutes there is sufficient. If they are to go on and get this game done, I'm pretty sure he'll be fine next week.
Okay, what happened to England there in that first 40 minutes? How did they turn this around? They seemed to be going wide early, way too early at the start of that game.
I think what messed them up was the attacking set to begin the game, and it went away from all the hard, tough stuff that they've been doing so well. For me, they need to get back and attack that middle third of the field. They're down New Brown. They're down Harris DeVita's coming at dummy half now. Really spot him up and generate some speed through that middle of the ruck.
They had a lot of success throughout the tournament on their edges, exploiting teams on their edges, and they've gone there so early in this game. Yet it seems to be a bit of a game plan. They need to come up with a plan B, and as Jimmy just touched on, I'd like to see them really get some ruck speed and generate some good momentum, because they got those players out on the edges that can cause, but they're going there too early, and the Samoan defence has obviously done their homework and are flying up and just absolutely frustrating the English side. So I expect a completely different start this second half.
They've got to earn the right to shift the ball, England. They're shifting it for shifting's sake because they've had success there. And Samoa have done a great job defensively on an edge. Yeah. They're taking down the England players' time. They're frustrating them into early kicks, which aren't on all the time. So England have got to earn that right first before they move the ball.
Yes, Jimmy, big 40 minutes coming up. Who will meet Australia next week at Old Trafford in the final? Can Samoa hold on, or will England make a second half surge and come back? It's a big game. Next 40 minutes, kick-off is next.
Ever World Cup final, England trying. Let's get back to our commentary team. Brian Noble, Kevin Brown, and first Dave Woods.
Well, what a second half we're looking forward to now. 5 years ago, 2017, Samoa in the quarterfinals lost 46 points to 0 against Australia in Darwin. It was an inglorious exit, but 5 years on, what a difference. They are on the cusp of a World Cup final, a history-making World Cup final if Samoa are going to get there. But England looking for a big response here. Finalists 5 years ago, lost by the slenderest of margins. They want to get back there. They've got a story to rewrite against Australia. Question is, can they do it?
Well, it's simple for me, Dave. England have to go back to their own processes. Just you see Lafay here trying to expose them on the flanks and play through this Samoan team and probably not around them, which is what I think they've been trying to do in Element. Get back to their simplistic stuff, fight for some ruck speed and get Williams on the ball and people around him.
And Kev, as a player, what would you have been expecting to hear from Shaun Wane at half-time?
Oh, it took the paint off the walls for sure. I think, it summed it up, Dave, at the end of that half where Morgan Knowles is kicking the ball. That for me just summed up with England today. They're just not at the races. It doesn't look as fluent as he has been. Sam Tompkins said at half-time that that's the worst they've played, and I agree. But the good thing is, if that's the worst they can play, they're still very close in this game. If they can change it around a little bit, it'll be a real competitive half.
Spencer Liniu on from the interchange bench, bustling forward from that penalty. Samoa have got a great position again here, and a solid hit forward from Paulo just sent a shudder through the timbers of the English defence, and he took another step forward after that contact as well. Good closing down on Luai by Watkins, but still alive, and Kafusi with a push. And Samoa almost within touching distance of a perfect start to the second half here. Danger from Sualihi. Stepping and shimmying. England back on their own line here. Heels to the back of the wall almost. Out it comes towards Luai. Luai spins it away. Lafai steps inside. His teammate Callum Watkins, the two Salford lads combining again. Watkins with a tackle. Last play. Luai with a kick away. A dash into open space. Back it comes to Sao. Now it's with Luai. Luai, they've got so many numbers on that right-hand side. But Makinson comes in and drops on the ball and begins an attack from there. The roar there was of relief because had that not gone to ground, Samoa in again.
Well, you can put that in the missed opportunities bracket along with all them England chances in the first half. That was a massive opportunity to score the try. They had 4-on-1 and Tommy Makinson comes in off the poor pass and gets the ball. Massive let-off from Samoa.
Well, it was pointed out, wasn't it, with our studio guests, that taking opportunities is crucial.
Well, we talk about moments in matches. And it's hard to tell which are the most important. I just wonder whether that might be one we're looking back on, whether Samoa look back on that ruefully. Or do they just brush it under the carpet and carry on doing what they're doing?
What a battle on this edge.
Yeah,
Lafai and Watkins.
They're going on the blind side on the 6th. This is a little bit unstructured from England. Williams with a kick over the top. Makinson, oh, it got a touch. Toho. I tell you what, England have been lucky there.
Well, it's a result for England.
It's just scruffy again, Nobby, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just scruffy.
Yeah. Well, they get a result, and they've got field position here because I think it's Toho that barrels the ball out on that right-hand side, doesn't catch the kick cleanly.
Son, you're on the touchline. What do you say?
Yeah, got the half-times from the two coaches from England. Make sure we complete. We've given 2 7-tackle sets away. We've got to be better on the last tackle play and better in the detail. We've got to put them under pressure. Not much from Samoa. It's a tough game. They're not happy with the penalty count, though. They want a decision off the ref. Says it's a 6-2 penalty count.
We've not had much from the Samoan coaching camp all week, all tournament. Why should anything change? England with Thompson. Inside the 10. England potentially poised here. McIlaurin picks up a little step and a shimmy by Cooper, and then a real push with his muscular frame, but Samoa holding on. Williams arcing back in again and bullied to the ground. Some big bruising bodies collapsing on top of him. McIlaurin, Tompkins. Oh, and they're trying to go short again, and Whitehead was insisting he'd been taken a little high there. The head went back, certainly. Williams with a kick over the top. Watkins is chasing it. Lafai gets it. Lafai's dropped it. Picked up. Score! Score! John Bateman. What a moment. Referee's putting the square in the air, but this might be Lafai 2, Watkins 1. This might be where Callum's got his own back. Let's have a look and hear from the video referee.
No worries. Video ref to match director. Got a live decision to try. Can we go back and freeze on the boot for the kick, please? And then we'll play through from there. Just freeze there. Yep, so right side kick chaser on side. Can we just play through here now on this angle? Tim Lafai jumps from the field of play. I need a close-up on that to make sure he's not contacted whilst in the air. Right, so the foot is down. Playing on at this point to knock on from Tim Lafai. Clean possession by John Bateman, and the ball is grounded. Thank you, I've seen all angles to make my decision.
Opportunity missed at one end. Opportunity taken at the other, and England back level, and a kick that will surely put them in the lead.
And Tanya said that the message from Sean Wayne at half-time was they've got to finish the sets better, and on that occasion it was a spot-on kick right on the money to put pressure under Lafai, and it's 2-1, Dave. Watkins gets stuck into his club mate, forces the error, and John Bateman just does the easy thing and puts the ball on.
Makinson puts it over, 12 points to 10. The pendulum swings only slightly, but it's back in England's favour.
Well, here you go. Callum Watkins is back in the game. Pressure on Lafay, he drops the ball. John Bateman picks it up, puts it right under the H's, which he loves. But Callum Watkins is back in this game and on top of his number at this moment in time.
So the celebration here from Bateman after he scores, I think tells you how much pressure England were feeling. And still are, but the delight, the sheer delight there from him after that, knowing that that was a huge moment in an enormous game. England back with a lead. Now the noise lifts a little inside this Arsenal stadium. Young, not seen much of him running today for obvious reason. England not been able to create the chances. Cooper. England's big men looking to create the platform now. McIlroy, Williams, off quickly. Whitehead puts the foot down quickly into fourth gear, but tackled.
They need a finish to this set. This is a great set after scoring a try to get themselves right the way down the field with the kind of play we've seen all tournament from England. Quick play, the balls, people moving around. Now find yourselves the last play.
Switch the numbers to that left-hand side where Williams will put it up. England are loaded up. They've got plenty of bodies up there, but wonderful leap by Sualihi. Terrific leap by Sualihi in amongst those advancing limbs.
But England will be happy with that, Dave. They get him in the corner. Sualihi's taken out of this set. He'll probably have another carry later on, you know, but they can squeeze right up. I agree with what Brian's saying. I think Mike Cooper, since he's come on, has really took it to this Samoan pack.
Samoa's turn to go lateral. England offside. Penalty for Samoa. Well, we certainly know it's not going to finish 12-10. I think we're certain about that. There's going to be more points here. And here's another opportunity for Samoa to try and build inside English territory this time. Last time they were down here, they spurned a wonderful opportunity. Harris Tavita. Milford helps it along. Now it's with Sualihi, and Farnworth doesn't quite do the job on him, but does enough to slow him down.
He is a freak of nature. Wow.
Whitehead got there to finish the job. In by Sua. 8 away. Still loads of tackles in the bag, relatively speaking. Switched away. Paolo to Milford. Milford to Lafay. Lafay steps on the inside, gets that pass away. England's defence is smart. Bateman ready and waiting. When Luai got that ball, Milford. Papali'i not only stopped, but he can't deliver an offload either. Full effect from the English defence, but one more to go because Luai's dancing now. Oh, he's found the gap, puts it back on the inside. Paolo spins it away. Luai bats it on. Brighton will finish. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. Wow, for my people and Samoans around the world, get out of your chairs and cheer that moment, because that was simply scintillating handling. They refused to let the opportunity go, and now they're back in the lead.
Well, that's brilliant rugby league football. By anybody's standards, by anybody's world class, that is world class. And it's Luai that causes the problems. He comes back off his left foot, back off his left foot. He's not right, he's going to score himself. He finds the ball to Junior Paolo, who does the speculate. Luai again, and Crichton finishes. What a try and what a play.
I think that's up there with the try of the competition, and almost the tackle of the competition too, by I think it's George Williams, who gets Paolo around the legs. But what a ball. Firstly from Luai and the feet. He's really becoming more and more dangerous in this game. But look at that for an offload. That's a front row, 125 kilos, coming up with skill like an halfback.
The skill levels in that try were unbelievable in many respects. First of all, Luai. Who would dream of having footwork like that? You're going at the line, you're going to the line, you move so laterally and so quickly. And he's involved in the second play as well. He pats the ball back when Paolo's got the ball back.
You score, we score. Story of the second half so far. But what a score that was from Samoa. That'll live long in the memory. Samoa hoping that it's not the last. eye-catching moment from their point of view. England got a job on their hands again now. Crichton jabs at it left-footed, and yet 16 points. They have 12 points. England have 30 minutes left to play.
You mentioned the crowd there before, after the try for England. But the crowd now, there's a section of Samoan fans just beneath us, making as much noise as every single England fan in here. So passionate about the sides. There they are, having a great day.
So England restart, Samoa get possession back again. This next 30 minutes means the world to all those players down there. This is where you ignore burning lungs and aching limbs and put your body on the line, because a World Cup final at stake. Nobody from these isles have won a World Cup since 1972. The iteration that year was Great Britain. England, as England, have never won it, though they've been in a couple of finals. Samoa hadn't even reached this stage until today. So it'll be earth-shattering if they can get their way to a final. Strap yourself in for this next 30 minutes. A try the difference. Last play. Luai gets it away before Bateman hunts him down. Bateman was coming at speed. Young underneath it. Lafay's got eyes on him, but Young's only got eyes for the ball. And England start here from 15 metres out from their own line. And Watkins just trying to knock down that blue bricked wall ahead of him and having no luck. Tompkins now, Makinson. He'll run at anybody and anything. Will they just keep grabbing a hold of him? McIlroy out of dummy half. Farnworth now. So the three quarters are having a big say in the early stages of this set. Here's McIlroy. Thompson's pawing the ground almost literally before he goes crashing in. But they've reached tackle at 5. So on the last, it's the duty of Tompkins to try and get a kick away that's good. It's spinning, but it's not going to cause too many problems for Tiny May.
It's probably 20 metres too short though, Dave. This is going to be an attacking set for Samoa now. They'll be happy with that. Tiny May took the ball back to his 30, and they'll start this, you know, setting out in England's half.
Oh, that pass from May was not the best for Luai, but he's making it into something a little more special than it really deserved.
He's making the game, isn't he, Luai? He's making his own look, his own footwork.
Apologies, that was Toho, wasn't it? But it's
Toho, yes.
It's Tuilangino who takes it on. 35 metres out. Harris Tavita. England's defensive line desperate to get up there quickly. Bustled forward again. Physical stuff. The juggernauts driving Samoa into position. Now comes a little bit of delicacy and footwork and handling, and Lafay with all of that, but Tompkins down low. Good save from the fullback.
What a place to start a set for Samoa as well. Great kick from Milford all the way through. England with it all to do. One of the questions we asked at the start of the game and the start of this second half, could they find some field position through their kicks?
England in the biggest fight they've had in the World Cup so far, without a shadow of a doubt.
Look fatigue. You know, Mickey McClory couldn't get into the back of the ruck there. He can't get in again. Sam Tompkins again in. They brought Victor Radley on now. He's on with Morgan Knowles, but I thought they might have rotated Mickey McClory, give him a rest and bring him back to finish this game.
Williams kicking. That's a good kick. That's a much better kick from Williams. Terrific, appreciated by the crowd, because it means that England's chase, when it gets up there, as long as it stops Soalihi, and it does, mean that Samoa start as close to the line as they have been for a long time in this second half. But England have to be sharp. An attempted ball steal on Sam, but he keeps a hold tightly. Here's May, Taylor May. England dancing around him, 3 of them. Harris Tavita. It's with Toho, but England clamping around him, not just stopping him running, but stopping him passing as well. The damaging offloads kept to a minimum. Palihi,
great feet,
just has his shoulders pulled back and his knees left in place. Last play again, Luai in control of the situation. Young, though, should have it, Oh, what a mistake! What a mistake from Dom Young. Simplest catch of the afternoon. That's what the coach thinks. That's what he feels. England under pressure now.
But it's Samoa's process is getting England at the moment. They're prepared to hand over the ball 5 minutes from the England's try line and 5 minutes in. The kick chase is good. They're doing it England to England if that's possible. And this is a straight drop from Dom Young.
He almost had too much time, but he lifted his eyes up. He was looking for the chase. Jerome Luai now, he's just got a ball on a string. He keeps putting it in this corner. This is a massive set for England. Samoa so dangerous from these sort of pieces.
Who would be a coach, Brian Noble? Who would be a coach? Everybody's feeling it, but the coach feels it more than anyone.
Well, with 25 minutes to go, there are some answers there still for England. The messages need to go out there, what they need to do.
Huge set here, and Samoa have numbered up on that far right-hand side. Crichton dragged down. Penalty, differential, offside at the scrum, so they can't kick for goal. But they do get another set of 6. Crichton's taken his bonnet off. I think he was saying, I want to have a kick here, and the referee's just reminded him of the rules. It's differential penalty, Stephen. You've got to take a tap. So the discussion changes. And Jerome Luai's just said to the referee, put 2 fingers in the air. We'll go for 2, ref. You can't. It's a differential. They don't teach players the rules anymore. Anyway, they will get a full set of 6. Full set of 6 to have a go at this English line. Tuilagi with the initial drive. Harris Tavita comes to the left-hand side. It's a push by Pahali'i, who's held up just a foot away, an arm stretch away, and Young came out to make the tackle, and he didn't make it, and that left the gap, and that gave the invitation for Lafai to score, and for the first time Samoa have a 2-score lead in this semi-final. And at the moment, they're looking very good.
They're looking exceptionally good on this left edge. Lafai, Luai and Sao, they're all tearing this right edge of England apart, and they keep going after it. They got the differential penalty, and perhaps they would have took the 2 points and let England off. But they don't. They have to play on. And the ball, it's Milford's feet, Luai's feet, and then it's just a simple put down for a man who's probably been Samoa's best so far, Tim Lafai.
Yeah, without. England was stripped for numbers so quickly from the set restart and the tap. And Callum Watkins tried to go in and close the play down. It was really important that Dom Young got to Luai and close the play down. Neither did either. And so they ended up with the score in the corner.
You want a definition of fury? I think we've just seen it. England up against it now. Samoa on the brink of history. Those with no emotional involvement in this game, who've loved rugby league, have watched international rugby league down the years, will be looking at this and thinking, wow, the history books are being rewritten here. But English fans are not interested in that. They want a sense of normality to return. Crichton with the kick. 8 points to difference. England have to score 2 tries at least to get themselves ahead from this position. Crichton's kick is drifting wide, but it remains the same situation. England 12, Samoa 20. England have to score twice, cannot afford to concede.
And Dom Young's had a fantastic tournament, but he's just had a minute that he wanted to forget. He's dropped the ball for the scrum, and then he's come out looking to collect Lafai and completely missed him.
I mean, if he gets him, he's a hero. But he doesn't get him, and that's the bottom line, isn't it?
Well, that's why it's a test match. Test your every decision of every minute of the 80 that you play. And at the moment, Samoa are playing it better than England are.
Well, the noise is lifting now, trying to encourage England. England's line speed has just accelerated by about 50 miles an hour. But Samoa are happy to just keep the ball, roll it downfield. Pahali'i in, Wrestling with three of them, he's not an easy target. You have to work hard to put him on his backside. Samoa again, just right down the middle. Again, through the guts of that England defence. Milford's kick. Makinson underneath it. Safe. Into the breadbasket and returned. Samoa up there in line to make the tackle.
Well, the issue for England is to get to the other end of the field, whether they by rocking the ball out here and finding some space and restricting to a great play of the ball here. There's an example of what's needed. Wellsby now coming into the game. Get your runners on the ball. Find some speed around the ruck.
There's a real urgency and energy about England at the moment in this set. Radley into that dummy half position. Watkins putting the step on. Back to Tompkins. Tompkins trying to hold off the defenders. Carries England closer. Radley. Williams. Williams now. Just thought he sensed a bit of daylight there, but it closed in quickly. Radley again. Tompkins punches the ball into the in-goal area too far. Too far. The controlled kicking game has left England, and Samoa will quite slowly. Oh, there's a bit of a battle going on here. Luai and Tompkins. I'm not sure what started that, but now everybody's getting involved. Well, if you thought someone was going to start a fight here today, I don't think you'd have necessarily picked out those two.
Walk away, boys. Lingy. Jerome.
Bit of energy expended.
Hey, you can't afford to lose anyone now.
The referee's going to have a look at this, just reminding them they can't afford to have anyone sinned in or sent off. It's still bubbling.
Jerome.
It's menace, really. Have a look at this. Luai's obviously having a chirp there at Tompkins. Tompkins has responded ill-advisedly. Well, he's not even touched it. And then Luai has gone for it. Gone for it. Oh. Well, Luai said something, clearly. We don't know what, obviously. Tompkins has just brushed his hand over his head. And then Luai's grabbed a hold of him. I suggest the referee just says, right, sort it out, fellas, let's go back to the
yeah, there's nothing in there, but I think Samoa will be happy with that. I think Jerome Luai will be happy with that. He's got under the skin of the English captain there, and, you know, this gives him a break again. And they'll be happy with this.
Well, I reckon this penalty might go Samoa's way. They've verbalised each other. Sam Tompkins has clipped him round the ear. It's nothing.
Just play. Let's just play on.
I agree.
Give them a chat. Let's get back to the 20-metre mark and take the tap.
That's it. No more if they come together.
No more. Good ref.
It's probably the frustration of the kick. You know, Sam Tompkins is normally, you know, very, you know, spot on with his execution, and that time it's just too deep. So the frustration and then the chirpiness of Jerome Luai has just got to him a little bit.
Yeah, good referee. Gerard Sutton got a hold of the situation, had a word with them both. Calm down, fellas, and let's just carry on playing the game we love. And here we go. Here we go. Samoa with 7 tackles. Now this will be the 0 tackle because, of course, it starts from that ball that was kicked dead. Harris Tavita looking left. Ball's been lost. Ball's been lost. Here's Don Young on the right-hand side. Young has to come back on the inside. Young's going to be dragged down, but look how close. They're back on the attack again, England. Somebody's turned the volume up to 11. The noise incredible. Tompkins on his knees and can't get through. Tried to, but he can't get through on his knees. Radley just smashed in again by Mike Cooper. Balls to ground. England rescue the situation. They rescue the possession, if not the position. Radley to this left-hand side. Williams with a kick behind the line. Here they go. Wonderful piece of footwork, but it's the Samoan body that drops on it tellingly. Elliot Whitehead's footballing skills, he'll have learned those in the street corners at Bradford. He almost dribbled it over, but it's going to be a drop on underneath the sticks.
Well, it's good by England. It's quicker, it's more urgent. It's a great kick from Williams, and one of the best short kicking games in the game. And there's an opportunity here. Should he have gone try and pick the ball up, Elliot Whitehead?
But there's 4 players in blue scrambling, putting the bodies on the line. Nobby, and I think it's Suali who gets there eventually. But it's another chance that they've missed. But Mike Meekan, what an impact he had.
Beautiful left foot from Elliot Whitehead, by the way. That'll be lost when we come to look back at the game. Here comes Hill. Well, every drive, every carry being met with a huge roar now from this English crowd. Remember, England have to score twice, and time is not with them. 17.5 minutes to play. Radley. Williams almost through. Just dragged down impressively by Harris Tavita. Radley trips over Harris Tavita. No penalty. The crowd are baying for it. But England have to start again. Tompkins. Back it goes to Welsby. Welsby's kick's too far. Hits the line. Oh, no. Sit back down. The ball hit the whitewash. Well, hang on.
We have no try.
Yeah.
We're looking at touching goal line. If it is no try, we've got Jerome Luai offside and involved, which puts pressure on an early.
Well, there's a twist. So let's have a look and a listen here with Adam G.
To match director, can I please go back to the kick, freeze on the boot, and then we'll roll through from there, please.
Yeah, and we're checking to confirm that
Okay, yep, onside. We'll follow through now. Okay, so I'm going to need close-up vision of the ball potentially hitting that line. Nice and slow here, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so the ball is on the line. We have an on-field decision of Jerome Luai offside.
Yep.
That penalty will stand. Thank you, Director. I've seen all available angles.
Yep.
So they haven't won the jackpot, but they do have a very good second prize here. England, a penalty. Jerome Luai offside. Samoa haven't heard that. They were thinking it was a tap restart on the 20. England didn't realise that, and suddenly their spirits will be lifted. They thought they were defending a set of 7. Instead, they got a set of 6 to attack now.
Suddenly the temperature goes up again, Dave. Suddenly the temperature goes up again, Kevin. What have they got, England? How can they prize home this Samoan defence?
You've got to feel that they've got to come up with some points. It's probably the 4th occasion now they've been knocking on the door. They need to score.
They need to score twice. But let's start with one, I think, from an England point of view. Here we go. 6 to go. Driven right in there by Mike McMeekan. Fresh to the fray, relatively speaking. Radley at dummy half. Tompkins. Williams. Short again. Samoa's defence is just running on fumes at the moment, but it's still running. That's the important thing. Knowles, 5 metres out. Radley again at dummy half. Hill's pointing at defenders. It goes beyond him to Tompkins. Now it's Welsby. Here comes Farnworth. Farnworth through the first line, and through the second, and through the third. And England have the try. And England have hope. What a moment to strike. But let's take a pause. He's gone to the video referee.
Yep.
Adam G, what's he going to say here?
Video ref to match director. We've got an on-field decision of try leading into tackle 4. Can I get your best available angles as Herbie Farnworth comes into contact all the way through to ground? All play on at this point. Still in possession. I'll just get a close-up now as he pulls away from that tackle into grounding. Yep, this should be good. Okay, still see the ball there. Possession. And the ball is down. You got one just from the other side just to make sure the ball is on the ground. Thank you. Yeah, this one. Thank you. I've seen all available angles and made my decision.
He's been a young star rising throughout this tournament. Now we see him with his full brilliance. Herbie Farnworth. Farnworth. And England are back within touching distance.
What a finish. What a left foot step, and what upper body strength to drag 3 Samoan defenders over the line and finish that play. They created the numbers early, and it's a great pass from Sam Tompkins, which released Herbie Farnworth on the second phase, and it was just brute strength then off his left foot.
We said that they needed to score a try. They needed to come away with points. He's actually beat 6 defenders there. 6 defenders. It took something special to get it over the line. What a game this is.
Tommy Atkinson. Just settling himself. The crowd just settle as well. Atkinson wants to nail this, and he has nailed it. 18 points for England, 20 for Samoa. There are 15 minutes to play. These are going to be breathtaking.
Well, it's 5, Kev. I'll give you 5 Samoans. He's beaten 2, left one on the floor, 1 over the line.
3 and 1 twice.
Okay, that's 6. You can have your 6. That's brilliant. And it's England back in the game, and there's 15 minutes left. And the way they've got back into the game is doing the simple stuff, in and around the middle, getting forward, and then playing through Williams, Welsby and Tompkins.
Chris Hill is up for the battle. I think you probably have to drag him off in the next 15 minutes here, Chris Hill. Dom Young running with purpose and determination. But those Samoan defenders are meeting like with like. They are fighting for a place in a World Cup final. This is where every sinew is stretched to breaking point. Every lungful of air so important now. England with the offload, that's good. Keeping it going, keeping it moving. Cooper put down. Has a look at the referee. Now it's Williams. Williams dodging and darting. Really good stuff down the middle though. Papali'i. Last play. Tompkins gets the kick away, up in the air. Sualihi underneath it. The 19-year-old wonder kid.
It's a penalty, Dave.
Penalty for England. Penalty for England. Running them off the ball. Now, do they go for 2 here? Sam Tompkins run off the ball. Do they go for 2 here, or do they go for the throat?
No, you go for 2.
Go for 2.
Draw the game up. I think it was Papali'i who just took Sam Tompkins out when he kicked the ball.
It was a penalty, Kev.
I think we've got a captain's challenge on this as well. Let's hear from the video ref.
Video ref to match director. We have a captain's challenge from Samoa. Can we please go back to the kick on a wide angle and follow through? We're looking at contact from Junior Paulo. Okay, can I get a close-up of the contact from Junior Paulo? So the ball, Sam Tompkins is in the air in a vulnerable position and is pushed to the ground late. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Well, it would be hard for him to pull out of that, wouldn't it? Instincts would have taken him all the way through there. But letter of the law, penalty.
Yeah, he's off the ground, isn't he? Sam Tompkins is off the ground. It's a dangerous. And that's a big one, obviously, for the context of the game. The 2 points opportunity now, but although the challenge, with 12 or 13 minutes to go, this is a big call.
They're just making sure where the ball is caught, because that's where the penalty will be. So they're just making sure, and it is on the 10-metre mark. Does that offer an invitation?
No.
No, you're still kicking for
2
goal.
points.
You're still kicking for goal.
I'm still kicking for goal, Kev.
Yeah. You've got to kick for goal. It's even easier to get now. I think Tommy Mason, the way he's kicking, he'll be very confident he'll knock this over. England will get the ball back, and this place will go through the roof.
What is it about England and Rugby League World Cup semi-finals? The heartbreak of the last seconds defeat in 2013. Sean Johnson's magical step. The incredible comeback by Tonga. in Auckland in 2017. Kevin Brown got himself in the way of things and England hung on that day.
Kevin Brown was a speed hump that day. And saved the game.
Here we go, 13 minutes to go, and this is for Tommy Makinson to bring it back level again. Who's feeling the nerves now? Tell me if you're not tense. Makinson steps up and yep, we're all square. That looked like a distant dream just about 5-6 minutes ago, but England are now all square.
Well, don't go away from what you're doing, England. The processes over the last 10 minutes have brought them back into this game. Since they got urgent, since the clock started ticking against them, but they're playing really well-controlled football. They're playing the best football they've played the whole game, Kev.
And you've got to feel sorry for the Samoans. To the letter of the law, it was a penalty. But in the context of the game, that's a huge decision.
There is so much fueling both sides now. England with a home support, with a World Cup on home soil. Samoa, with their place in history, is at stake. So they are both now going to take this to the very limit. Young put down. Hill again, arm over the ball and just driving it in. Golden point extra time, of course, if needed. I don't think either side would want that, and just at this stage they want to win it in the 80. That's real nerve-shredding stuff if it goes as far as that. Radley has to go back a step or two to play the ball. Tompkins, Thompson, bounding it in. McMeekan rather, bounding it in. We've seen two fantastic semi-finals in this World Cup in the men's game. Different qualities, but equally tense. Tompkins with a kick downfield. Suhali with a catch.
That's a great
look at Radley. Look at Radley.
Well, I tell you what, I just wrote a note, small note to Kev Brown. Since Radley went to 9, the team looks completely different.
He's in again. It's not just his defence, it's his attack.
This means everything to him and everything for these England players now in terms of stepping it up. Line speed, but discipline not to get offside, that's key. Samoa almost making standing starts, which makes Junior Paolo a different kind of entity. Samoa have to go wide because England have forced them that way. Crichton helps it on. Oh, Tahoe just about keeps a hold. On that far side, last play, inside their 40. Milford kicks it away. Tompkins catches carefully on the bounce. Here's Dom Young. 4 there, right in front of him, closing him down. Good solid impact though to get England on the front foot. Bateman had run a dummy run behind. Tompkins had miswatched him.
Mickey McLaurin back on, had a rest. He'll finish this game on now. Recharge his batteries. He'll fly into this game defensively.
10 minutes left to play. All square. Radley. What a warrior he's been. Real quality. McLaurin, I think, was looking for a penalty there with a player in the rock. Referee told him to get on with it. Do they think about a point here? No, they don't. They go wide. Williams puts it up instead. Keeps Samoa under pressure. Down it comes. Makinson with a tackle on Tahoe. Samoa start only 5 from their own line.
Perfectly timed as well. Tahoe just jumped up and allowed his feet to get down there, Tommy Makinson, which allows this.
Well, the line speed's different. The team is different. They're firing forward. They understand they've got to put this up. And the collisions are just as hard as now as they were at the start.
Who grabs their moment of history? This is a game that has to be decided. Samoa again looking left, trying to make that break, trying to damage England's energy and nerve. Luai back to the middle. This now is May. May bounces off a couple, trying to make something happen. Matt Meekan says, no, you don't. Smothers out the opportunity with that big tackle. Last again, pressure on the Samoan kickers. Milford gets it away. Makinson backs up, sees that ball come down, catches safely, runs it back. Looks for a bit of width here. Still Tommy Makinson. Great carry by Tommy Makinson.
There's that special play that Kev Brown's used to. 40 metres sideways and 10 metres forward.
Dom Young.
What a game. This is so tense.
What a finish. McIlroy. Here's Hill. Hill with a push. England in this arm wrestle period now, trying to get as much yards downfield as they possibly can. And Burgess just bounces into Spencer Lemieux, gets the pass away. Williams skips it on. Williams put down. Tompkins collects. Wellesby on its way. Interception from Crichton. Stephen Crichton is going to go the distance for a huge try. Stephen Crichton with a try that might just win it for Samoa, that takes them into dreamland and possible World Cup history. The old order is shaken. The new order has a lead at a critical moment in the game.
And I think it's Victor Radley. He's been sensational in this tournament, and he just looks to pass. And Stephen Crichton just makes the decision to stick his hand out and chance his arm and intercept the pass. It's Radley. He looks to pass the ball, and Crichton, once he gets it, Chris Hill goes across. It's a valiant effort. But what an athlete this man is. Superb try, so important. 6.5 minutes left.
Well, it's a 4-on-2. And it's just Crichton picking his pocket. There's nothing else you can say. He's got away with those plays right throughout the tournament, as you said, Kev. But Crichton picked his pocket. Oh, heartbreak.
And of all the players, a lot of heritage on show here today. Pride in parents and grandparents. Stephen Crichton, born in Apia, the capital of Samoa. And his nation hearts are bursting with pride at that moment. Put the 2 grand finals of the last 2 years in a bag. This eclipses all those moments for Stephen Crichton.
Yeah, and he's completely swung this game on its head. England looked like they were getting the ascendancy, and they looked like they were going to be in a position to have a chance of a drop goal. But what a play. You mentioned before, Dave, that someone has to step up and write the name in history. Well, Stephen Crichton's just done that for his nation.
Gets to kick the goal as well. Well, this is huge. This is huge, because if he puts this over, then probably the best that England can hope for is golden point extra time, because they need a goal, a try and a goal to bring it level. If he puts this wide, then England still have a glimmer of a chance of winning it inside the 80. Here's Crichton. And he has kicked it. And that gives them a toehold in the final. They're well on the way, the road to Old Trafford at the moment. Can England put the handbrakes on Samoan hopes and get themselves back into this World Cup? They've got 5 minutes now to do that.
Well, the way they've been playing, they can. They've got to believe they're going to get 3 or 4 sets here. Probably a short kick-off here to try and regain the ball.
Wow. And amidst the madness, you two have to pick a player of the match as well, so let us know who you think. England have it back! England have it back! That pendulum swing slowing a little. Is it coming back England's way? Burgess with a try. Every man, woman and child, well, the vast majority, bellowing now inside this stadium. Radley with a wrong to right. McIlroy, Williams, Burgess again. His brother Sam was such an outstanding player in that semi-final in 2013. Radley now. Radley takes them close. 1 play to go. England are this close to retribution. Williams steps back. Tompkins, Luai crowds him down. England desperate to keep it alive. Samoa come up with possession. And Chanel Harris-Tavita drops on the ball. And England just sink a little lower.
It was Jerome Luai again who just shot out of his line. And you mentioned it before when Dom Young did the same. you're a hero if you get there, and he's a hero today. He's been sensational, and that's a massive play for his team.
Toho up to the halfway line. Milford jogs over there. No hurry at all from Samoa here. Simply a case of keeping hold of that ball, trying to push as far as they can inside the English half. No risks taken now. Job very nearly done. Sao. Well, we'll look back on so many moments in this game. Lingi Sao's impact being one of them. Milford's kick. Makinson underneath it. Great flight of the kick because Makinson in the field of play, so has to run it back. And out comes the tackle of Lafai. Dom Young, Lafai again. Samoa will swarm in defence now. 3 minutes to play. Radley trying to push. McAlorum. Now it's with Williams. Williams with the break. Off he goes. Farwood on his outside. Farwood puts the foot down and chases. And Tommy Makinson is pointing it towards the sticks. Farwood scores a try. Makinson has a kick to bring it level. And in the dying moments of this extraordinary game, England are given fresh hope. And it's Herbie Farwood who's the hero.
We'll put that down to George Williams. He just sums it up perfectly well. He's been doing that for a decade in this country. He jumps up and skips on the left-hand side, beats a tired defender, but then he's still got a lot to do. He's going to suck in the fullback.
There he goes. Here's Williams. Steps, kick, jump. Herbie Farmworth get with him, and he gets with him, gives him the ball. Open your legs, Herbie. Get round the sticks. Tommy Megan says, get under the sticks. What a finish. What a play from George Williams. We said at half-time, get George Williams on the ball. Straight through two people. Brilliant pitches we're seeing. Finds the right pass to the right person who's got the legs to get there.
And it's Elliot Whitehead, isn't it? We're on his outside and running so fast. We just thought it had to be Tommy Mekinson, but it was Elliot Whitehead.
I think everyone in the ground was pointing for him to go a bit closer to the sticks.
Well, settle down, everybody. Settle yourselves right down, because it ain't done yet. England are still behind, 24-26. This is the biggest kick of this man's life. A Golden Boot winner 9 years ago. Now this Golden Boot could put England level again. It's a tough kick. It's a tough kick. Can you bear to look? You might just want to listen. Makinson, a little bend of the knee. Silence descends inside this stadium. Makinson strikes it, and the flags go up, the arms go up. England's hopes are sky high again. It's all square with a minute to play. This incredible World Cup keeps on delivering, and England still have a chance to keep on delivering.
I'm sure my heart can take this golden point that's coming up. There's still a minute of this game. Go Herbie! Go Herbie! Go under the sticks, Herbie. Didn't need to because Tommy provided the goods.
26 points apiece. Samoa resist the temptation to go short because they know at the end of this set there could be a drop kick coming.
It's a great carry.
40 seconds to go. Golden point, extra time to go. Now it's rattled in by McMeekan. 15 short of the halfway line. McAlorum spins it out. Radley onto Hill. England goes the chant. There's Samoan voices in there somewhere, but they're drowned out by the home crowd. England with a break. Off he goes. Super stuff. Back on the inside. Scrappy handling. Ball goes to ground. It's thrown away. I think that might be it. 5 seconds and counting. Samoa want to take the scrum quickly. They won't get time. Listen for the hoot up.
He just needs to go to the floor.
Listen for the hoot up. It's not sounding yet. We've not got full time yet. There we have There we have.
Just go to the floor. Just go to the floor. George Williams was there to drop a goal. Anyway, we've got golden point. What a game. Wow. Wow.
I think we're only allowed one wow again, Kevin. I think we can use 5 or 6.
Yeah, not when a game's like this.
Wow.
You mentioned some of the previous semi-finals, but this has got to be the most dramatic, you know, the ebb and flow of this game. And even to the last play of the game, where Elliot Whitehead tries to find Victor Radley, we've got a shootout. And the fitness of the England boys, you know, they pride themselves on the fitness. Sean Wayne's really been pushing them hard in this competition. But Samoa have been fantastic as well.
80 minutes played, England 26, Samoa 26. But as we know, that ain't the end. Well, there's some words here. Some words here, aren't there?
Wow, what a ding-dong we've had here at the Emirates, and it's not over yet. Samoa will kick off for the first period of golden point extra time. Sean Wayne, the England head coach, what is he thinking right now? England look down and out. And then a try with a couple of minutes to go has levelled it up. Samoa minutes from their first World Cup final. They have to go again. Matt Parrish, there's nothing more he can do. It's been absolutely 5-star entertainment here in this semi-final. Next score wins. England and Samoa on the brink of a World Cup final. And it's sudden death. 26-26 here at the Emirates. It's been fantastic so far. Let's get back to the commentary team led by Dave Woods. Let's see who gets to the final.
Takes you back to being 8 years old. The sun's going down on a chilly November evening. Your mum's called you in for your tea. Next score wins, fellas? Yeah, next score wins.
England do the same.
That's where we're at now. Next score wins.
Receive the ball. You want the ball in golden point situation. Get down to the other end of the field.
We thought Stephen Crichton had won it. Nah. Herbie Farnworth had something to say about that. So both sides, if you're new to rugby league, if you're wondering what on earth is going on, what is this madness? Well, both sides know that 1 point now will see them into a World Cup final.
It's exactly the same set, Woodsy, as they did before.
They'll just try and get themselves in a position where they can attempt a drop goal. England trying to get downfield, but there's also that balancing act of if you miss a drop goal and it goes dead, the other side gets 7 tackles. Oh, it's going to be Samoa who have it. It's Luai. Samoa will get first chance here. 6 tackles on the English line, so they will get a chance for a drop goal.
Just plough the middle road like you were doing, England.
Harris De Vita. Now it's taken on by Paolo. England know what's coming. England will be desperate to make sure they don't suffer a sucker punch, give away a penalty, concede a try, but they know at the very least there'll be a drop goal heading their way. Speed up the line is going to be massively important. Anthony Milford's already set. Anthony Milford charged down by England. England survive. Farnworth has it. First chance is spurned.
Brilliant, Sam Tompkins, I think it was. Flew himself, threw his body at it. Elliot Whitehead.
Elliot Whitehead again.
Elliot Whitehead. Well played.
Elliot Whitehead's been everybody on the pitch today.
He can be, if he comes up with plays like that. Brilliant, Elliot.
They're still not out of danger yet.
Yeah, England know they'll have learned that lesson. You cannot make a mistake that deep. Radley. Radley put down on the 4. Wellesby. Bateman. Forward pass. That is huge. Again, they've offered Samoa another excellent position here.
It was a forward pass, Dave. It was a forward pass.
I cringed as I saw it. It's just a bit lazy. It picks the ball up. Well, I don't think it's lazy. It's probably fatigue.
Well, it might need something brave again here from England to defend this line. Samoa are on the brink once again. Kofusi back on the field here. Relatively fresh pair of legs. We say relatively because there'll be a lot of tired legs out there. And this is Toho. Make more meters than anybody else at this World Cup as Brian Toho. He'll settle for a simple 1 point at the end of it now. Driven in by Paolo. Paolo slowed down. 2 gone, 4 to go. 4 tackles for Samoa. England will be hoping for a mistake. Luai. Back it comes to Papali'i. Papali'i now put on the ground. England slowing it down. Have a look for Milford. Milford again is in position, but they're also going to go back to Crichton. Crichton's got time to try and win it for Samoa, and Stephen Crichton is a history maker. Samoa into the final of the Rugby League World Cup. What a moment for Rugby League. What a moment for that nation. And in amongst it, what a moment for Stephen Crichton. English hearts are broken. It's not going to be a home nation success this year, but Samoa have just written a huge chapter in the history of international rugby league, but they've done it at the expense of England.
Yeah, heartbreak for England. The last 20 minutes of that second half, they came to life, they dragged themselves back, they got in the game. They're absolutely gutted.
Oh, they've put it on a plate, but what a kick from Stephen Crichton. Hasn't he stepped up in this match to score the try and then drop the goal? You've just got to feel England have handed it on a plate, a forward pass and a drop ball to start the extra time. Devastated.
Player of the match. I think you two are going to pick player of the match so quickly. Who is your player of the match?
Yeah, it was tussle. There's been candidates, both George Williams for England, but for his impetus and his direction around the field and his kicking game, Jerome Luai today for me has been probably the difference between the teams. Crucial times he stepped up, made breaks, made passes, scored points.
Wow. Again. I mean, what are you thinking back home at the moment? There'll be different emotions all around the world. English hearts broken. Look at that. Elliot Whitehead has done so much today. Deserved to be on the winning side. But history will tell you that history has been made. England 26, Samoa 27.